Hey everyone, Trigon Glisk here, and this is Trigon's Forest. Today, I'm going to be running a game called Loop Hero. Now, I played the demo for this game, and I've been looking forward to it to come out for a while, and I'm super excited to play the full version. It's going to be exciting. Loop Hero is a pixel art dungeon crawler, but what you're doing is you're building the dungeon on the way. And you know what? I'm going to boot it up now, and let's get going. So, one of the things you'll notice is it's got a very unique art style to it, right? I really like it. There's a lot going on with it. So what you can see with the user interface here is it says Loop Hero in big letters in the front. There's a lot of different languages it looks like translated into. The cursor is a metal fist. In the background, there's like a cosmic. There's some planets. There's all kinds of things. There's a castle in the background, some mountains, some webbing-looking things, an old-looking manor of some kind with some bats flying around it, grass, some dirt, and leaves and everything. So, one of the things you may notice that I'm going to do, and that I definitely want to keep moving forward with most of the games that I play, is I'm going to try to be as descriptive as possible. My partner is completely blind since 7 years old. She can't see anything. And so when I play games or we watch TV or we take a walk in the park, one of the things I like to do, and she appreciates, is describing everything to her. And so I'm going to try to do the same thing here with this. Now, since I played the demo, one of the neat things is they brought over my progress, but we are going to start from scratch. So I'm selecting a save slot and I'm clicking a new one. I'm not going to skip the tutorial. Let's run through it together. So let's start. The screen is black. There's a big halo circle, and you see a planet, and there's this beam of light right in the middle. And again, this halo is bright blue. It's like a corona from a star. If you've ever seen a full solar eclipse, it says the stars in the sky are going out one by one, but no one notices it. No one can stop it. So now it's switched to a scene of this nice lush countryside, some brown grasses, trees with no leaves. It must be fall. There's some coniferous trees down in a little valley. There's some houses. There's a big manor up on a hill and some mountains in the distance. It's pretty cloudy out. It looks very nice, very serene, but we're still in this little halo orb thing, like through the looking glass. It says, "I'm racing to the last place where there is still hope. I need to make it before ... before it is too late." So the same scene is showing all these dripping, oozing. It's very bizarre. It looks like the cosmos are coming down out of the sky, and there's a single figure up in the corner there, and everything is just splotching onto the earth. Like it's basically just turn my camera back on. It says sounds of agony will quickly fade, and the world will be destroyed. Even the memory of it will be gone. And in the middle, there's this, I believe it's the Lich, is what they say. And he's holding a scepter. He's blue. He has these robes. It's a skeleton, skull head, ribs showing, with this big halo crown looking thing around it. And pieces of the earth are just, they're either falling away or getting sucked up into the sky. I can't tell which. And there's a person here. And it continues. And even if there's absolutely no chance of bringing it all back, there will always be someone who is willing to do the impossible. And it's showing a figure in armor, almost like conquistador-looking armor, with a buckler and a sword in their left hand. So it's got the curved-looking helmet with a big feather in it, and there's just a little bit of ground that can be seen, and that Lich is up in the sky. In a place without space, without time, without memories. And everything went black, and suddenly it's the character, and there's this trail in the background, but in the foreground is a character, the same conquistador, and it says, "Where am I? I can't see anything except this path." My head is killing me. I remember only a skeleton with a staff in the sky. This darkness was coming from him. Did he destroy everything around here? Just standing here won't do me any good, I guess. So now we're in the tutorial, and it's showing us there's a user interface here. There's a lot on the screen. And we'll go through the tutorial, and I can describe more of the user interface in a little bit, but it says here, to change between adventure, traveling through the map, and planning stop modes, press the switch, right-click, or space. Continue your journey by changing the game mode. So there's a little figure in the middle here. There's two little huts. That's going to be your home base. And the figure, when you right-click or space, we're in planning mode right now. You can see that it says planning. You right-click or you push space. And our character's starting to walk, and the UI changed. Anytime there's a message, it will stop the game for you. And the character came back and says, hope I'll be able to find some shelter before nightfall. If such a thing as night still even exists without a sky, of course. The text says, pay attention to the day progress at bar at the top of the screen. New enemies usually appear at the end of the day. So you can see there's a sun up here, or a star, I guess. I don't know what world this is in. And it will progress as the day goes on. And again, it says there's certain times where creatures will spawn, etc. Usually at the end of a new day. There are certain things later that can change that. So continue your journey by changing the game mode. Again, space or right click to change the mode. Again, we're in planning mode. You can see that at the top here says planning. We click a button and it makes a noise. Suddenly we've run across a creature on our path, and it pops up a new screen. So our character says, a living ball of slime. Quite a nuisance. They digest anything they can. Hey, I remember this creature. Maybe I just need to freshen up my memory and everything will go back to normal. So we click through and it says, traveling, fighting, and most other actions are done automatically. The player can't affect them directly. Press any button to continue. So our character has this little blue bar and it's winding up and he's striking out at this little slime. So our character says, it's hard to fight with your bare hands. I think there's a weapon in the remains of this thing that's not fully digested. ... So it's showing us now the user interface part on the right side of the screen. So it'll show at the top, loop, enemy level, and there's a settings option. So there are different items that we can equip onto our character, and the ones that are shown in black here are the ones we can currently use. So it's showing us you have an inventory and an item slot. You know what to do. For those of you that don't know what to do, you can grab and drag this axe onto the weapon slot. It looks like a sword in the background. I'm not sure if you can double click it. No, it doesn't look like it. It'll also, if you hover over it, it'll give you some details about it. It'll say the name, and this is called an axe, and damage 4 to 6. In the bottom left corner of the small icon, it is showing 1, that is its level. So we're gonna drag it onto our character. I think I remember that there was a grove nearby. Are these even my memories, or do they belong to that slime? That is a good question. The text now says you can use cards that are left after defeating enemies to add various new objects to the map. That's what planning mode is for. So now you drag the card to a suitable space to remember the land. So we're building back these memories and this existence of this loop here, right? And so in the bottom left, and actually it'll go all the way across the bottom here, this is the deck building portion of this game. So this is a card, and it's called Grove. When you hover over it, it'll make a noise, and off to the right side of the screen, it'll give details on it. So it says Grove, a gentle rustle of leaves, a crack of a dry branch, and a feeling of being watched. It spawns a rat wolf every 2 days. So remember how we said the meter here at the top left says day progress? It'll take 2 full meters of that to be able to spawn a rat wolf. And the wolf can move to an adjacent tile. So we're going to drag this and place it where it's telling us to, which is right on the path. And we let go. And so right here is the tile. Each one of these is a different tile, and you can kind of gauge where they are. So this rat wolf can spawn in here, and it can move to an adjacent tile here. The game says now, continue your journey. So I'm going to right click to exit planning mode. You see we're in adventure mode at the top of the screen. Okay, so the day just progressed, right? And it spawned a rat wolf already. And we're gonna progress. Now it's gonna do the auto fighting. See, now we're fighting it. It's trying to bite at us. And the character says, Forest Rat Wolf. I was right. Some emotional stress, a few colorful images, and a bit of adrenaline, and everything will be forgotten, like a bad dream. Or remembered as a bad... Damn. It's good that nobody is listening. It says here, you can get new items and cards during battles, as you've probably already noticed. Some items have unique abilities, as do most of the cards. By hovering over an item or card, you can inspect its properties. We did discuss it earlier. Sorry to jump ahead. Equip a new weapon and place a new card on the map to continue. So, it'll show you... The neat thing is if you're hovering over the weapon. So we found a sword. It says Broken Longsword. Remember, it says its name and some stats. Damage is 4 to 6. Regen per second is 0.6. So every second our character progresses, here's our health bar. We're going to get 0.6 health back. Now, the cool thing is it shows what your equipped item is. So in this case, it's the axe, damage 4 to 6, and you can compare them to each other. So you can see, oh, is this better or worse for me? And in this case, this sword is better, so we're going to replace it there. Now, there are two things here. There's a rock and a forest. So the forest says, a thick forest. Nobody knows who or what could be lurking inside. It makes you a bit nervous. Plus 1% hero attack speed. So I can drag this and place it anywhere there's a yellow spot. Notice how I can't place it on the path. So what this is going to do is it's going to give us a plus 1% hero attack speed buff so long as it's placed somewhere in the world. And it's just a passive buff. Now, rock. Its magnificent appearance gives you strength. Plus 2 HP, plus 2 more HP for every adjacent rock or mountain. Now, these are going to be pretty crucial to maintain and build properly. So this card here, I'm going to place it right here. Okay, so that gave us 2 more health points, right? And then this forest, I'm going to place it elsewhere because I don't want to put it next to this because that takes away an opportunity to get plus 2 more HP. So if I put a rock here and here, we can just build it up a little more. So I'm going to place this on the other side. I've actually never seen the forest one. I didn't see it in the demo. So we're going to put it in. Great. So there's a mountain over there, and here's a forest. The world is just like new. The branches and stones in my backpack are a sure sign of that. Some of your actions will yield resources that you will need later on, but not right now. But that shouldn't stop you from looking at them right now. Continue your journey by changing the game mode, space, right-click to switch. So I'm gonna right-click, but first, before I do that, up at the top, show hide resources and items found during this expedition. It's blinking, so I'm gonna click on it. So it shows that we have 2 items. There's wood, a log, it says staple wood, a log that somehow managed to keep its structural integrity despite the general chaos. And then preserved rock, apparently untouched by the Lich's curse and thus suitable for building despite the shapelessness of the world. So there's 2 icons here. I'm trying to remember exactly what they say, or what they mean, but it looks like we have 2 resources, and I think this other icon is if you collect enough resources, you can get a different type of resource. We'll get there later. It looks like also you can change the game speed. It doesn't affect the speed of battles, it says, but you can change it by pushing tab. So if I push tab 1 times speed, tab 2 times speed. It was set to 2 times speed, but I think that was because I had that set to 2 times previously since I had played it already. So we're going to change it to adventure mode by right-clicking, and our character walks by. The rooster crowed, it's a new day, but I think it's time to get some rest, our character says. The text here says, the game itself is a journey on a looped path. Only you will decide when it's time for the hero to return to the camp. Either you or the fangs and claws of your enemies, of course. You can retreat almost any time, but a special animation will let you know when it's safer to do so. So you can retreat at any time, but you'll lose a certain amount of your resources. If you retreat now, return to camp, hold, and it says turn on auto return. by the campfire, and I don't want to do that. I want to make sure I do this manually. But the little character here is running. It's almost like those walk signs on the street when you want to cross, and this says it's time to return. So let's do that. There's a new interface here that popped up. There's like an urn with some wings on the side here. In the center is a skull with that same crown, and I guess what are these? They look like, again, a different type of wings, angel wings almost. On the right side is a broken urn, and that's with also wings, and then there's a skull. But I think that is the case is either if you die or if you leave early, that's how much you will lose. So we are going to keep the wood and the stone. In the center, the text says, the thought of leaving the battlefield and going back to your cozy camp has passed through your mind. What a timely idea. The camp is just around the corner. Retreat, you keep all resources. We will click retreat, and the screen goes dark and it pops back up. Our character says, it's cold and dark here. A small fire can solve both of these problems. Nice place to set up camp, the text says. This is when all resources you've gathered will come in handy. Who would have thought? You have just enough wood and stones to make a campfire. What a coincidence! I'm not saying that, the game is saying that, but it is nonetheless. Build a campfire using the building function while in a camp. Press the build button, select the campfire, and place it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to click the build button on the right side of the screen, and this comes up with a different interface. So now we're here, and it's giving us a tech tree, it looks like. There's a campfire. There's all kinds of other options. I'm sure we'll get to them later. Let's continue on, though, by clicking campfire. It gives us no other option but the very, very, very center to build it. Let's do that. So we clicked it. Congratulations, you've beaten this annoying tutorial. Very fourth wall. I kind of like it. You can now start your first expedition, or not. Do as you wish. Click anywhere to complete the tutorial. Boom. We did. Okay. So it looks like we should expedition again. So when you click on expedition on the upper right, it says expedition menu, and it's showing your character and the lich again. And we will start. Okay, so what happens is it builds a new path. And our character says this path, everything is wrong. But I remember. It looks like a completely different place, and it's empty again. Do my actions have any meaning? ... Very existential. You know, we're really thinking, boy, did I just walk that small loop and it meant nothing? The character says, like I have a choice. If I need to give up and cry to save the world, I am the worst savior of all. Let's do it. Our character is walking. So, as you can see, there's a new path. There are a lot more slimes. I'm still on 2x speed. It's likely that I will end up slowing it down because things get crazy. But let's go. Our character is going to fight a slime right now. Slicing it. Slicing it. Now, our character's moving counterclockwise, which your character will go different ways, which is kind of fun. Didn't get any equipment out of it, but I found a rock. Remember, rocks give 2 HP and 2 HP more for every adjacent rock or mountain. I'm going to place the rock out here into open space so I can put more rocks around it. Now, 2 more cars showed up, and we haven't seen these ones yet. One is called Vampire Mansion. Hungry eyes follow your every move through the holes in the roof. Adds vampires to battles on adjacent tiles. What this means is you can see that I have to put this adjacent to the path. It does not go on the path. If I were to place it, say right here, anywhere in the blue, so it's showing a blue area which is surrounding the whole thing. So it's a 3x3 grid, and you can notice that different locations. See how there's this little cutout here where there's a path in. I guess I don't know how to describe the. If we went by numbers, 2, 3, 6, 8, 9. I don't know if that's how it's telephone numbers or if that's. I think that's telephone numbers on the. If you look at the 9, not like a number pad though. Anyway, if I put it here, 5 squares would be affected. If I put it here, 4 squares are affected. If I put it here, 3 squares are affected. And so it just depends on where you want to put it and what level of challenge you want to give yourself. We have absolutely nothing right now. I think if I want to do this, I'm going to put it right here and just let it go. And there's a little chuckling in the background. What does that mean? So We happen to find, in our first fight, preserved pebbles, not a stone this time. Small stones that still remember how the world used to look. When you hold them, you're able to vaguely remember it for a few seconds too. 10 pieces of pebble form one preserved rock. So remember earlier I was talking about we had our pouch here, and I couldn't remember which was which. So the top number are pieces of the bottom number. When you get to, this one says 10 of the rocks, it will create one full rock. So there may be a chance where, I can't remember, pebbles may be used to build something, but rocks definitely. So you want to try going until you collect enough of the resources, right? You also don't want to get yourself killed. Let's take a look at that other card we have. It's called a beacon, a worthless landmark in a world with no direction. Plus 40 movement speed within its range, plus 20 attack speed for all units. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this also gives attack speed to the enemy. So, I think I will place it just for fun. I'm going to put it so we walk faster by our camp. If we really want to get to that last bit, the last second. Or we can put it here to pass by the camp real fast. Sometimes what you want to do is not be too fast at the camp, because if you're really thinking about, do I want to, retreat or not, and you don't want to accidentally be too fast and miss your opportunity, and then you have a world full of monsters that you don't think you can defeat. I'm going to place it here. This is not one of my favorite cards, but we'll play it for now and let it go. I also hope that my camera has not been blocking too much of the text. I may have to move myself again. Let's go to adventure mode. Let's get some more stuff, kill some more slimes. We're attacking another one here. You can hear the whoosh, 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 and that is the noise that means you got into a fight. So from that one, we got 2 pieces of equipment. Now here's the thing, when you hover over equipment, it will actually pause the fight, so you can change your equipment in the middle of a fight. Now, this ring says it has evasion of 9%, and that's how you can not get hit as often. So we're going to throw that ring on. And this armor says max HP 87, so we have 252 total. We add that on. Brilliant, we got more health now. I'm going to move away, and it automatically resumes. So we're doing marginally more damage. Oh, we got a sword. Damage 4 to 6. So we were using our bare hands for a moment. I'm going to pause it. We have a new card. It's called Road Lantern. A small spot of light in this grim world. It decreases the maximum number of monsters on adjacent tiles. The effective lanterns can stack. Okay, so it seems like if I were to take this and place it right here, there'd be a lot fewer slimes on there. I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet. I'm going to hang on to this card for the moment for when I start really hammering on all of the different things here. This is going to get real juicy. You're going to see when we get up here with all these slimes, especially near the vampires mansion. Oh, that sword really helps us. We got new armor too. It's better. 98 versus 87. Let's toss that on. New cards, everyone. We got a mountain. It's like a rock, but really big. Plus 5 HP for adjacent rock or mountain. Alrighty. So, we're going to place it next to our rock here. And it has to be exactly next to. Diagonal doesn't count. But we still want to surround all of it, because if I put one here and put one here, this one will get a bonus. So let's put it right there. So, our maximum HP just went up. By placing that, it gave us a pebble. So that's nice. A new card, Cemetery. A place for the dead, and for some of the living occasionally. Spawns a skeleton every 3 days. So, let's put this one, and this one goes directly on a tile. Let's put it in this corner. I don't really want it next to a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to space out some of our fighting here. I don't want to get too crazy yet. These 4 slimes can be real interesting. We're going to be pretty low on HP here. So now we're fighting 2 slimes at once, but our weapon has really helped out. One thing I want to let you know is that... Ooh, hold on. Back off, human. Oh, it's clearly a vampire. He has like bluish skin. He has a very, very popped collar. I mean, it's up to his forehead. I mean, it must be real quiet in there, especially with his long blonde hair. He's got red eyes and really furrowed eyebrows and a crease in between his forehead there. You can tell he's got the kind of a really like smashed nose and vampire teeth. It's hooked together by a chain clasp, and he's got I don't remember what these are called. I'm gonna call them frills, like a little I don't know. back in, you know, olden days, medieval ages, probably a little later than medieval. Think about when you go to the opera or something, that's kind of thing you're wearing. His big, like, the pop collar is also attached to a large cape, it looks like. You can see in the pixel art, it's all one piece, it seems like. So he said, "Back off, human." "A vampire? Where are your lands? If your farmers need help, I would be glad to offer it." "No more lands, no more flock, only hundreds of years of emptiness. And hundreds of years of hunger!" Oh my goodness, he looks terrifying. His hand is humongous, and he's like gripping his face like he's really struggling. He has big, wicked, Venom-looking teeth, if you know the Spider-Man character Venom. They're just big, jagged teeth, and his mouth got real huge. Just lots and lots of them, and his fingers are extra long and bony and turning brown, like his skin is just decaying, and long, pointy fingernails. He's now back to his normal self. "Save yourself while you can. I don't know how long I will be able to keep my head straight." "What hundreds of years are you talking about?" And that's our character talking again. And the vampire says, "Your mind is easy to trick, but you can't trick my hunger. It demands its share. Every sip, every drop of blood will go to satiate it. I'm too weak, but you can help me, and I will set this criminal world right." I hope that was, yeah, that's the... So it highlights which character's speaking. You notice how the vampire is a little brighter and my character is dim? And he says, "Right, I'm doing this not just for myself, but for everyone, in the name of good. So be grateful for my hard work, and just let me bleed you dry." And he turned back into the evil thing, and we are fighting now. We killed a slime that was fighting with. We evaded, so our evasion's coming in, and we managed to kill him. So here's a little exposition. Vampires often owned our lands. They kept the peace and helped our settlements to prosper. But this won't do it all. Now they're just pale shadows of their former selves, both physically and mentally. Apparently, the blood of other creatures can't sustain them. He wasn't joking about the hunger. Even the creatures that stay near him are imbued with the power to devour someone else's life. So, vampires also improve the strength of creatures near them. Next time we get into another vampire fight, I believe this little bat here. Ah, yes, Vampire Aura, it says if you hover over this bat in the combat UI. So, I didn't describe that earlier. It's a shield with two swords crossing the back of it. But again, Vampire Aura. All enemies that are not objects or artificial gain the vampirism effect, 10%. So when they do that, they take 10% of the damage and give it back to themselves as health. Alright, so we're paused right now. I had some new items come in. I have two different swords. One's defense 3, one's defense 4. I'm going to put the defense 4 up. We have a new type of ring. This one says attack speed plus 4%. I don't mind the attack speed being faster because you hit sooner, and sometimes you can do an attack before they manage to get you, which can save your life. But I really like the evasion. It tends to kick in at some fun times. It may be almost too much, but that's okay. So I'm going to let that go for now. Let's go back to game mode. So you can see there's another vampire here. Our character attacked the vampire first, which is convenient, and now a slime. I'm going to take this a little slow at first still. We're going to check out. We have some more armor. It's not as good. And a sword that is also not as good. This is a gladius, not just a sword this time. And so I'm not going to equip either of those. And you can see that our bar is filling up here. As it goes away, we start to get items for them, I believe. And you can also rearrange by clicking and moving the items. Now, there's not a quick way to do that. Not like a keyboard command. You can't, you know, once you left click, it's like stuck to you like glue. And if I right click again, remember that makes the game go. So I pause it again. Mostly because I want to throw down a rock. So remember, rocks plus 2 HP and then plus 2 more for every adjacent rock or mountain. We're gonna place this on the bottom here. So now we get 2 more full HP to our total. We're at 284 out of 366. We're a little hurt. We got another beacon. I'm not going to bother with placing that. We have another cemetery. So, skeleton every 3 days. It's looking a little empty on this side. I'm going to toss a skeleton there. Now, that might not be the greatest idea because then we have to go fight a vampire if something spawns here. But that's only with a 5% chance of spawning a slime once a day. So, We'll see. Another card is called a Meadow. Earth covered with a thick carpet of grass. Nothing really interesting, unless you're a cow, of course. It heals 2 HP at the start of each day. Okay, I'm going to place those at the bottom here. So when you do that, it gave me a ration. 12 rations form a whole food supply. And then, noticeable change. This is enough to turn a caterpillar into a butterfly, a seed into a sprout, or a drop of water into steam. Will turn itself into something else too if you collect enough of it. So 20 changes form a complete metamorphosis. Now, one thing I want to show you, if I were to place this meadow in nowhere, I got 1 ration, but it doesn't have a lot of flowers in it. So the actual one here for the meadow, it shows a bunch of flowers in here and some grass. Well, this one here doesn't have any of that. And so you need to place it next to another card that you placed to make it bloom. Now, I can recover this and place another one here, but meadows next to each other don't count. It has to be a different type of card. So you notice that this now says heals 3 HP at the start of each day, where the one without the bloom only heals 2. So remember, it's the start of each day. So when this progress bar at the top gets to the end, I will get as much health as our meadows out here with the meadow cards. Sorry, I keep changing myself. This is one of my first videos ever. I am still learning, and I want to make sure I get myself in the right place. I would hate to, I noticed I was covering up cards, covering up text. So I'm learning along with you guys, learning this game. We're gonna fight some more slimes. We're gonna look at all that damage we're doing. So you can hover over the enemy and see that stats too. So it says slime, HP 4 to 13, because we did 9 damage to it right away. Damage is 3.13. Attacks per second, 0.6. So, you know, every 1.2 seconds it'll attack twice. It is considered artificial life and liquid. Remember that vampirism thing? It had a quote about artificial life, so it may not count for slimes. But we're gonna kill it and get a couple more cards. So, we got a new card we haven't seen yet in this run through, but we did last time. It was called a Grove, remember? That's where the rat wolf can spawn. I'm gonna spread this out and put it down just past the beginning of our path. We have another rock, which I will place next to this other rock. So the picture of the rocks, as I didn't describe earlier, looks like it's just a couple boulders or something you'd see. They're a whole bunch together, but the mountains have peaks on them and everything, and they look real nice. The Vampire Mansion. It looks like a dilapidated looking mansion, has like a dead tree behind it, and yeah, it's almost a shame, because it sounds like the vampires were real nice people. They were lords and they treated the people right, but they've just devolved. I like that take on them, instead of just being power hungry, greedy, awful, you know, things that you see in a lot of media. This takes a different approach to it, and it really just kind of makes them a victim, so to speak. So let's move on. Adventure mode. I want to get a couple loops in. Fight another slime here. Okay, got some more cards. One thing I didn't notice is we have new armor, but none of those do anything better than what we had. We're fighting another slime here. When you're in this combat, you can't place new tiles, so be cognizant of that. You may want to pause if a lot of tiles start showing up. So I'm going to place a meadow right there. I'm going to place a mountain next to this mountain. Now, what you are going to see me doing is in this section of 9, right? So if we're thinking like a telephone number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to do all the positions except 5. Because, if I'm not mistaken, again, if I have a rock on each side of, think of a plus sign, right? So if in the middle you have north, south, east, and west. You know, top, down, left, and right. So the more I do that, I can actually get more HP because I have more cards next to each other. And I'm not going to place it in this open spot because then I wouldn't get the bonus from the +2 here. So it's you got a lot of strategy coming in when you're placing cards. I'm not quite ready to place a road lantern yet. I think we're doing okay on health. We have 355 out of 391. I think we're doing all right. Let's go kill some more slimes. Let's see if we can get anything out of it. One of the things that also happens is as you progress with your loops, it will actually get more difficult. Each creature is not going to be just, these slimes aren't going to just, you know, womp womp, flop over and die. I'm going to place a mountain and another mountain, and we're going to leave the space for a mountain as well. So, if you notice, we're going to hover over this. See how it has more HP and it's doing more damage? So every loop you go through, it is going to get harder. Because theoretically, you should be getting more stuff. You should be getting better stuff. Now, remember I said the UI. When I hover over this, it's actually going to show, I didn't see this before, an hourglass turning up and down. It's showing that it's paused. I can hover over this also, and it says glow of a beacon. We're in the beacon range. Increases all creatures' attack speed by 20%, so everybody's faster. So when I hover over this, it has the 20% attack speed shown. When I hover over myself, 20% attack speed plus 4% damage. And I'm trying to remember where that's from. Maybe it's the loops. I don't remember. We'll have to double check on that. More slimes. Take this one out. We got a ring, magic damage. I'll not do that for now. Ooh, this armor's better. So you can see how it has an up arrow next to the 99 there. I can't put my cursor over it because it'll go away. So I'm going to drag that and place it there to replace that armor. Now when you replace something, it goes away forever. You don't get it back in your inventory. It's gone. Alright. Awesome. We got a mountain. Now, +5 for every adjacent rock or mountain. So we should get 20 HP on this by placing this here. So I'm gonna let go. It actually gave us a whole bunch. Oh, now that I placed that, it was surrounded by a lot of rocks. This grew into a mountain peak. So one of the neat things about this game is there are a lot of little secrets in it that you may not see right away. So we placed a mountain, right? We placed another mountain, and then another mountain. We placed enough of them, and they've now become a mountain peak. And here's the cool thing is, we have a lot of things to discover along the way. I know a few of them since I played the demo. I don't want to spoil them, I'm going to leave them. But now there are a lot more. I can't tell if these are trees or what they are. There's skulls into the mountains now. That's kind of interesting. And it now says Mountain Peak, a stone giant in the description here. Could support the sky itself if it weren't already gone. Plus 120 HP, plus 5 HP for every adjacent mountain rock tile, spawns a Harpy every 2 days. So, when 2 days pass, we will see what the Harpy will bring us. Alright, we got another slime and a lot more rocks. I'm going to pause the game. I do this a lot. I'm going to place some more rocks in. One there, and one there. Excellent. I'm going to start placing some meadows here. Again, I want to place it next to another tile so it gets the extra bonus. We're already at 13 noticeable changes, which is a beautiful thing. Remember, we get to 20 and we get something else. You'll notice here that we have had more than 10 rocks, or sorry, preserved rocks, the preserved pebbles, and that became one preserved rock. It's going to be important for building stuff later. So, one other thing that just showed up, check it out. There is now a Goblin Camp. The sound of backstabbing can be heard from miles away, it describes it as. Spawns a goblin on an adjacent tile once a day. Appears for every 10 mountain or rock tiles. Now here's the thing. Every day, it takes us more than a day to get around the loop. So the next time we come around here, there's going to be multiple goblins. The unfortunate thing is, it spawned right next to a cemetery. And you know what that means? Now we're going to have goblins and skeletons in the same place, so it's gonna get real exciting up in here. I am excited in a bad way. Hopefully we live. On the right, actually, when you're not hovering over anything, you can see your stats. Damage right now, 8 to 12. Max HP, plus 259. So that's more than what the base is. Defense is 4, evasion is 9%. HP per day is what we get packed when we walk past our cozy camp. So when we hover over Cozy Camp, it says, come from a place to stay. It's strange, but all monsters try to keep away from it. Heals 20% HP upon entering. Let's keep going. Okay, we actually got an item walking through the cemetery. You notice we got a preserved pebble. That's pretty cool. Oh, a slime spawn, 5% chance, and it's right next to the vampire. Now let's check this out again. All enemies that are not objects or artificial gain the vampirism effect. So, this slime is artificial. We hover over the slime, artificial life, which means that it's not actually getting the vampire effect, which is beautiful. We're okay with that. Ooh, that vampire is evading. We got a level 2 ring. Evasion 8%. It's just slightly down, but look at this. Regen per second 0.6. I'm liking that. We're gonna replace it. Kill another slime. Here's a new card. Spider Cocoon. A Silky Bastion of 8-legged hunters. I'm terrified of spiders. I don't like them. I respect them. If they're in the house and I can shoo them outside, I will. They're very good at, you know, killing other bugs that I don't like as well. And so, I respect them, but I don't want them near me. And I will get the fear freeze. I will eventually muster the courage to go get them or, you know, shoo them out. But usually there's a lot of dropping and I'm freaking out, so. A spider spawns on an adjacent tile once a day. So again, we're going to spread ourselves out. I'm going to put one on the backside here. Now you notice this is next to the path. It is not on the path. So you can double up and I can place something else on here to have a spider and something else attacking me. But we will pass here without the day passing, so that means that we won't have to deal with it. Healed, 20% health. Now we're fighting a rat wolf that had spawned. Oh boy, it is a feisty little thing. That was a good hit, 12. Hopefully we get something good from it. We got a level 4 shield, defense of 15 compared to our 4. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. That was worth it. Another rat wolf actually spawned because the day went over. So one thing you'll notice up in the top while we're fighting, the day actually progresses while you fight. So right now this Harpy is flying in and it is flying across the screen left to right from our mountainside. Where will it land? I'm not sure yet. Here's another level 4 shield, but here's the thing, it just isn't as good. I'm gonna drag it to the end. I believe better items yield better resources. Here's a ring that gives 9% damage. Or sorry, 9 magic damage. Sorry, not a percent. That's kind of powerful, but I like the regen and the evasion, so I'm gonna actually maintain what we have. Oh, good. The Harpy landed right next to our cemetery. I don't remember if they walk space to space, but the cemetery already has 2 goblins and a skeleton. That is gonna be a nasty fight. I'm nervous for our survival. Hopefully we get a good weapon out of the slime and the next skeleton coming up. Or hopefully we're feeling very dodgy and we evade. Okay, I'm gonna pause. I wanna make sure I get this mountain down to get some extra HP going. Unpause. Ooh, bad luck. We spawned with 2 skeletons against us. They are whomping on us, you guys. I am not sure this is gonna go very well for us. I'm definitely worried about the goblin fight. Okay, 1 down. I'm gonna hover over this. Look at this. Regen per second. Evasion, vampirism. This ring is really good. It's level 4. So not only we're gonna do magic damage when we attack, we get regen per second, the same as we have. Our evasion's gonna go down by 1%, but we get vampirism. Let's toss that on there. Whew. I am hoping we survive. We're getting 1 health back per strike, but that's good. Another ring. Ooh, regen 1.8. I think I'm gonna hang on to what I have. Wow, that was painful, team. Look at this mess coming up. Oh my goodness. We're fighting a little slime here. I can change the planning mode before the fight is over, so it stays paused when the fight's over. That's convenient. And so I did that for that very reason, because I'm nervous. I got another mountain to toss on and another rock. There's something here called a battlefield. It smells of blood and steel. Spawns a chest at the start of each loop. Enemies on adjacent tiles can become ghosts. So I'm going to put it right after our camp because I want that spawns a chest at the beginning. Now, the rat wolf can come here and become a ghost. But that's okay. We'll see what happens. We're going to fight a Harpy. So on the right side is showing this Harpy. Long black hair, kind of feathers up at the forehead. Some bluish looking eyes. Still white eyes with blue in the middle too, but like white underlids almost. Still very feathery, humanoid. It looks like a woman. Feathers for arms. And then in the smaller picture in the background in the combat, you can see big claws, but legs like a human. And so the Harpy is speaking because their highlight says no. And our character's like, what do you mean, no? You want to save the world? You want to ask for help? Our answer is no. And our character says, how did you... But why no? We see far away. We see deep inside. For a long time, there has been just emptiness instead of the sky. But it doesn't stop us from seeing. Your saving of the world is one-sided and naive. Each person sees their own way of saving the world. That's why no one will ever join you. Fine. I don't fully understand it. But tell me your version. What does save the world mean to you? Our character asks. My progeny and my kin. For them to be strong and to live. It's a part of the cycle of life and death. It is life itself. It is the world. I will kill you and feed your remains to my starving younglings, and life will go on. And how many lives does your blade give birth to by killing again and again? Only one. And our character says, I don't want you or your children to die from starvation. Please, try to see reason. If my mission succeeds, Harpies can have all the sky and all the hunting grounds they need. I can't feed my children with your beautiful words. It's time to say goodbye. And Lord help us, we might be saying goodbye here pretty soon. That is an interesting attack animation. Wings forward. This is gonna hurt real badly. Oh my goodness. So we're hovering over. Harpy, 42 out of 42. Damage, 16.3. Yikes. Thank goodness it only hit us for 5. Must be our defense. Attack, 0.8. It is living and it has a soul. Also, I hope you don't mind. I went into GM mode, my Game Master mode. I run a game, and I do voices for that too. Not very good ones, but everyone's got to try, and it makes it fun for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're good at it or not. If you're playing, a role-playing game with some friends, definitely give it a try. Give a voice to your character, or if you're running one to your characters. So, yeah, ooh, that was pretty good. Oh, I'm gonna pause. Hold on. Our character says, "I feel awful. By fixing one evil, I'm becoming a source of another. There's no home for Harpies except the highest mountains, but there's no food there. I can't imagine how they managed to survive if their mountains were cut from reality." It's a dark, dark reality. But it gave us a really good sword, 11 to 17. We're going to need that for this next fight. It is going to be crazy, team. Here we go. Stop! Oh boy. Well, it's always interesting to see different versions of goblins. Also, I'm sorry my video screen is covering up our character's face. That's probably not very good looking. But this goblin here, it has it almost looks like a shark nose, sort of, with but like big furrowed, muscular eyebrows. It's a very pointed face with sharp, jagged teeth, an eye with almost no, I don't know, retina, or what's the iris? I think that's the word. Also, long, sharp, pointy ears pointing backwards and away from it. With it looks like fur in its ear. It's wearing a gold earring and must be a silver earring. And it's very muscular. I mean, look at those muscles on it. Underneath it's those muscles by its neck, and it's just beefy. But anyway, it tells us to stop. And our character says, "Where did these goblins come from? I don't remember remembering you." It says, "We remembered ourselves, and now give us all you've got." And our character says, sighs, "You have no idea what's going on, right? Why don't you help me restore order in this world first, and then you can do anything you want." "Goblin must rob, and no other order in this world." "Fair enough. Guess I don't have any valid objection here. ... Oh wait, I do have one. How about now we fight? It's not looking like it's gonna go so hot, but we killed one of the goblins. We have killed another goblin. There is a skeleton we are trying to get through. Ooh, all right, we killed the skeleton. Ooh. Hover over this armor. Whoa, much better. 320 max HP compared to our 99. Attack speed +4, vampirism 10. Yes, please. Let's toss it on right away. We killed the goblin leader. The character says, it's strange how these creatures appeared here on their own. Maybe it means everything is actually not so bad and that the world is trying to restore itself. Or that even the apocalypse isn't somehow enough to get rid of some pests. Whew, team, that was rough. We're gonna fight a slime. That'll be much easier. We're just womping on it. Now look at that. Okay, you can see what happened. We got another item and it became scrap metal. And so as these disappear, we get more scrap metal at the top. Small pieces of metal that survive the Lich's curse. Sometimes this is all that remains from armor or a sword that you haven't looked at for a while. 13 pieces of scrap metal form 1 bar of stable metal. That's exciting. I don't think we're gonna make it too far, team. We're gonna have to reset after this one, I think. We have half of our health. We're about to face 3 spiders coming up. Oh, we are just... Okay, we are definitely handling the spiders quite well, though. That one evaded us, but we're almost one-hitting them. We're getting more scrap metal at 4. Oh, we're facing another Harpy that landed. Remember, as the day progresses while we're fighting, Harpies can spawn. I will throw another meadow down, just get another card played. We have another battlefield. I'll place it down here as well. Crow sounding. Okay, I'm going to pause it right here. This is where we have our camp. We are going to retreat. Look at all these goods we're going to get. I'm okay with that. We didn't make it to 20 noticeable changes. I really wanted to, but we got to start small. So let's retreat. Doom, doom, doom. Oh, there's a lot more camp here. And there's another character. I can't believe it. Hey, everybody, the boy has managed to return. Oh, yeah, that's right. Our character's a boy. I keep forgetting that. Survivors, our character says. Does this mean I'm not alone anymore? Where did you come from? Is this still a place without darkness? We don't know where we came from, or we can't remember. These people you see are only a small part of what's left of the group, I think. She has red hair and like bluish and red freckles. Kind of must be like some dirt in her nose. Also blue eyes. A lot of people with blue eyes. It must be a favorite color around here. She's wearing some kind of, I don't know if that's armor. It has an I on it, the letter I, or maybe a Roman numeral 1. It has a copper surrounding. This looks like a rivet of some kind, maybe holding the armor together. Very fancy looking. But again, the inside is blue as well. And some orange, maybe leather looking pauldrons with an ascot around her neck. Her hair is up in a bun. It's very wavy and has this little floof out in the front of it. Our character says, "You're not sure?" We're not sure. We reached that conclusion because of the abandoned luggage and leftover daily rations. With each day, new signs of presence of people that... With each day, new signs of presence of people that, as far as everyone here knows, have never even been with us. It's like we forgot them. You forgot, our character says? Exactly. It's like people disappear every day and we instantly forget they even existed, almost as if we forgot the place we came from, and our families, and maybe even ourselves. My name is Yota. That's the part I still remember. Nobody else's memory is in much better shape. Our character says, that's why I remember so little about myself. Everything is forgotten. But wait, you said I managed to return. That means you remembered I was here. Character says, yes, that's why it's so important to us. We saw you leave, but you were gone before we could approach you. Listen, we can't wander around in this emptiness anymore. There's a campfire and a few sleeping bags here. A real luxury in these dark times. What do you say? Kara says, oh, of course, I'd be very grateful if we could team up. I want to restore everything. I've begun to remember the world as it was before, but there's no point to it without other people. It's too lonely without them. Remembering the world? I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm too exhausted, but we'd be glad if you could help us, and we'd be glad to help. Or Yota says, just don't ask us to go with you. I don't know how you managed to return, but for us, leaving the group is too dangerous. The character says, I will ask no such thing of you. For now, I just want to have a place to return to. A place where I can hear the people's voices. Yota comes back. We weren't joking about helping you. Here are the few things that survive the cataclysm and don't vanish away. Can't be forgotten. Take them. You might need them. They gave us, let's see, wood, food supply, and I believe a preserved rock. So we can look at our statistics, expedition, or build. I think what we're gonna do is stop here for the moment with this beautiful music going. I'm going to click the main menu, select save slot, and continue. I believe it saves automatically, so I'm gonna say goodbye for now. We're gonna start up again and continue from there. I'd like to explore what it is we could build. Obviously in the demo you can only build so many things. I'm excited. We're gonna do another couple loops and runs, see what kind of mischief we can get up to, see if we can get some new cards in the deck, and exciting stuff. So thank you for joining me. Again, I'm Trigon Glisk. This is Trigon's Forest. I'm gonna keep making gameplays like this. I hope you continue to join me. I'm excited for games such as this. This is very fun. I'm having a good time. Let me know what you think of Loop Hero. I know there are a lot of other people streaming it, playing it. I hope I can be just as entertaining as all of them. Again, like, subscribe, the whole YouTube drill. I'm gonna ask, and I would really appreciate that. So, thank you for watching. I will see you next time.